We've got a lot to talk about in today's video. It looks like God of War 4 for the PS4, its release date has been leaked. From Software confirms that a long-running series will continue. DayZ is still coming to the PlayStation 4, and a classic franchise makes a return. Let's get right into this. For those of you that are excited for God of War on PlayStation 4, and honestly, if you have a PS4, how can you not be excited for that game? It looks like the game's release date has been leaked. For a little bit, the game's PlayStation Store product page showed a release date of March 22nd, 2018. Now, since then, the PlayStation Store has updated and it now says it'll be released on December 31st, 2018. Obviously, December 31st is not the date. That is a placeholder date. We see that oftentimes with games that are on the PlayStation Store and they don't have an announced release date yet. They'll just put a placeholder date of December 31st. March 22nd makes a lot of sense for a couple of different reasons. First of all, they did already say that the title would be releasing early 2018, so March fits that bill. And if you look back at every mainline God of War entry, every single game has come out in March of that year. That goes for God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War Chains of Olympus, and God of War Ascension. The only one that didn't fit that trend was the PlayStation Portable title God of War Ghosts of Sparta. Outside of that, all of the other titles had March release dates. The collections were a bit different, but you get the idea. And like I said, March makes a lot of sense for this game to be released. It seems like Sony likes to start the year off with a big heavy hitter exclusive. We saw that in 2014 with Infamous Second Son. 2015, we did have The Order 1886, and while that game wasn't amazing, I think it was a notable exclusive nonetheless. And of course, earlier this year, we saw the release of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I really like that trend. I think it's a good idea to start the year off with a bang, especially when there's not a lot of games being released around the same time. You can put out a big budget game, the entire PlayStation community is going to be buzzing about it, and that's definitely going to be the case with God of War on PlayStation 4. This is a soft reboot for the franchise. It looks to be a little bit more slower from a gameplay standpoint, and the storytelling looks to be a little bit deeper. The game looks tremendous, and it was a nice change of pace for the franchise because while the God of War games are great, with God of War 3 and God of War Ascension, it was becoming a little bit too much of the same, and this God of War title looks to change the pace just enough to re-engage consumers. It's one of the most anticipated PlayStation 4 games of 2018. It's hard to say that it is the most anticipated when you've got titles such as Spider-Man. The PS4's 2018 just looks absolutely stacked, but God of War is definitely among the top hyped up games on the PlayStation 4 for 2018. Moving on from that, From Software has confirmed that the Armored Core series will continue. We were teased an Armored Core title back at the end of 2016, but since then we haven't heard much. However, From Software took to Twitter to confirm the intention to continue the series, saying, quote, "Thank you for watching the Armored Core 20th Anniversary Music Special broadcast. There is nothing we can announce now, but we don't intend to end the AC series as it is." That's Armored Core, not Assassin's Creed. "So we'd be happy if you could wait a little longer. Even going forward, thanks for supporting From Software." They continued by also saying that the Armored Core 20th Anniversary PlayStation 4 theme will be delivered tomorrow, December 5th. Please download it. Even from now on, From Software will continue to push forward with development. Thank you for your support. So From Software has become one of the most notable development studios in the world. They really blew up with the Souls games, but that wasn't their first step in the gaming world. Armored Core was a pretty big franchise. It was a quality franchise, and we don't see a lot of great mech games these days, so it would be great to see another Armored Core title on PlayStation 4. Let's hope it's announced soon, maybe even at PlayStation Experience, fingers crossed. So for those of you that want the survival action game DayZ on PlayStation 4, you'll be excited to know that the game is still headed for a PS4 release. Xbox One is getting it first because they have an early access style program and game preview, while Sony's PlayStation 4 does not have any similar service like that. DayZ developer Bohemia said this, quote, "In short, yes, we're still gonna release DayZ for PlayStation 4. It's mostly that we have the ability to do the game preview program with Xbox that has us choosing this platform for the first console release. And the partnership with Microsoft has been very productive so far. We're still excited to have DayZ in the hands of PS4 players. It'll just happen a bit later than the Xbox release." The main issue with DayZ is that the game is still a mess on PC, but the 1.0 version of DayZ will launch in 2018 alongside the game preview version on Xbox One. And as for the PlayStation 4 version, we don't have an announced release date for that or even a window for that, but hopefully we'll get it sooner rather than later. Despite being an unfinished product, DayZ has still been one of the more popular games on PC and has demanded a lot of attention. Unfortunately, we just wish the game could could run a little bit better. Hopefully by the time it gets to the PlayStation 4, it'll be a polished and complete experience, especially given the fact that when it comes to the PS4, that will be in theory a full version of the game, while on Xbox One, it is getting it as a game preview version, so issues on that platform would be a little bit more justifiable. That isn't the case on the PlayStation 4. And finally, to round out the news today, we've got a lot of exciting news for Mega Man fans. Lots of classic Mega Man titles are headed over to current-gen platforms, and we've got a brand new title as well. First of all 8 Mega Man X games will be released for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC in summer of 2018. We don't have any more details than that. We don't know if these games are going to be released individually, as a collection, whether it's going to be a retail release or a digital-only release. I would imagine that it would be both, because they did put out Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and that was available both digitally and physically. So I would assume the same with this Mega Man X collection, especially considering that this collection would probably include all 8 games, so it makes sense to put it out physically, but who knows. The Mega Man X titles are fast-paced 2D platformers, much faster paced than the original titles, and they were a lot more action-heavy. Most ardent Mega Man fans seem to really enjoy Mega Man X1 through X5. The series was actually supposed to end with X5, but then Capcom put out X6, 7, and 8. The general consensus is that X6 was pretty good, X7 was not so good, and X8 was pretty good as well. So to have all of those games on current-gen platforms will be very nice, but on top of that, we are also getting a brand new game in Mega Man 11. With Mega Man 11, unlike Mega Man 9 and 10, it won't be a pixelated old-school style experience. It'll feature more modern visuals in a 2.5D style. What we've seen thus far looks pretty good, a lot of resemblance to Mighty No. 9, and we know how that game turned out, so let's hope for the best with Mega Man 11, and hopefully this gives a chance for the series to be revitalized and Capcom can start putting out more and more titles. Mega Man used to be a juggernaut of a franchise, one of the most iconic characters in all of gaming. Has fallen to the wayside in recent years a little bit, but hopefully if the Mega Man X games sell well, if Mega Man 11 sells well, that'll get the steam rolling back with the Blue Bomber. We should find out in 2018. So that's gonna wrap up today's video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about God of War 4 potentially coming on March 22nd? Are you excited that the Armored Core franchise is continuing? Will you check out DayZ on PlayStation 4? What do you think about all of the Mega Man goodness coming over to current-gen platforms? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.